I started by creating my own stage. I wasn't invited to events. I wasn't interviewed on podcasts. I wasn't being put on the big stages when I first started. Nobody even knew I was a speaker because I wasn't. So you don't become a speaker overnight. Start by hitting that social media live. Start by recording. Start a podcast. Start workshops. Start interviewing other people in whatever way. And the more you speak, the more you're going to refine your message.
Welcome to Elevate with Marissa. Unleash your inner magic and transform your life. Join me on a journey of inspiration, empowerment, and reconnecting you back to your true self. Discover your infinite potential and power to create and live the life of your dreams. Enjoy the show and elevate your mind, body, and soul to a higher level. And today I'm joined by Raimonda Jan, and she is a serial entrepreneur and the founder of Women Thrive Media, a best-selling author, international speaker, speaking coach, visibility expert, and she helps other business founders become recognized and highly visible in their areas of expertise and sought-after speakers. She's also the host of Women Thrive Summit, one of the largest global virtual women's empowerment events. Her passion for speaking and empowering others stems from her own personal experience of losing her voice, her identity, and confidence due to trauma. And now that she's overcome her own life challenges and found the power in her voice, she wants to make sure that no other woman has to hide her light and shy away from speaking up and sharing her story. Your story matters, and the world needs to hear it. Welcome, Ray. It is so lovely to have you here this evening. I'm so excited to have you join. You have just completely transformed my world. I met you through Women Thrive, and I just have to say to both you and Abby, both of you are just so beautiful, and it's been such a beautiful journey to go through. So I'm truly honored and so excited to have you here today to be able to share all of the amazing work that you do to be able to help so many more people. So tell us about you and the work that you do.
Thank you, Marissa. That's so beautiful to hear that our work and commitment is actually changing lives and supporting women in their endeavors. So my name is Raimonda Jan. I'm the founder of Women Thrive Media, and what I do is I support women in really elevating their authority, thought leadership, building up their visibility, and becoming speakers professionally. Well, I've been an entrepreneur for nearly 15 years, and I've been doing speaking for the last 8. And as far as I remember in this entrepreneurial journey, I've always been advocating for women to be visible, to share their story, and to build their personal brands for success. And I see this even more important now as this whole coaching industry is becoming so much more competitive and so many more people coming into the space. How can we really stand out in this online world?
Yeah, and it's been so interesting to see the coaching space change over the years. You see the marketing strategies change. You see the way that people are showing up visibly has changed. And it's like now so many more people are wanting to, I guess, position to being a public coach, to being more of a speaker where they can impact more people. So I think it's been a really beautiful shift to see, definitely. And you mentioned something really interesting about being positioned as a thought leader. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I believe if you want to establish yourself as the go-to expert and you want to bring on clients, you want to open doors to new opportunities, your credibility, it's so important, especially in today's world. Positioning yourself as the go-to expert, as being a thought leader, and thought leadership can come in various ways, but I believe it's a journey that people have to go on to, like establishing your brand. Like, who are you? Why should people listen to you? Why should people come to you for your expertise? Why should you be the one speaking on stages or podcasts? When you become really intentional about building your thought leadership, you unlock a whole new world of opportunities to various things like public speaking and media and writing for magazines, writing books, and being invited to things that you may have never even thought was possible. But it does really take that work to be done on thought leadership area.
Yeah, amazing. And I guess in terms of being positioned as a personal brand, like I mean, some people have their businesses under a business name, or some people brand under their own name. But I guess, like, how do people really establish themselves as a brand and as a thought leader and as the expert in their field? Because I feel like with some industries, there's so many people. It's like, how do you compete above the noise? And I think everyone has their own beautiful, unique magic and offerings that they bring, and you can never replicate someone's energy and passion and enthusiasm that they bring. But it's like, how do you position yourself as that industry expert, as that person that you want to be positioned at, as that thought leader and that go-to person that people, when they think of your industry, they're like, oh, yes, that person, that's the person I want to work with.
It doesn't matter what kind of business you're going to have. You, as the person, as the founder, as a personal brand, you are the magic source behind everything, your mission, your passion, your story. And a lot of times we kind of want to hide behind the business brand, but ultimately it's you. You are the thought leader, you are the driver and the visionary behind your mission and your business. So in whatever you do, I think building your personal brand alongside your business brand, if you're going to build a business brand, making sure that you also position yourself as the expert, as the founder, as the entrepreneur, as the business owner, because ultimately people are going to build more trust with you as an individual than just the brand. So if you look, let's say, at Richard Branson, he's got many, many different brands, but whatever he puts his name to it, his ethos, his values, his personal brand is the first thing that opens the doors to many opportunities, and then the brand becomes successful. So I believe that any business owner, your path may change, your businesses may change and evolve, but the one thing that will continuously stay is you as a person and people wanting to do business with you. So if you can build that out and get really clear about what is your mission, what are your values? Because your values, again, fundamentally aren't going to change year on year, even though your business may. Once people understand that this is what you stand for, these are your values, this is your mission, then you can continue to build on that. And over the years, you keep establishing yourself with more expertise. So you grow as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as an expert, as a coach. So really honing into what is your core message? What is it that you want to advocate for? For me, I've used various tools to build thought leadership and personal brand. So I used to use social media, and people used to say, "Hey, you're the social media queen." Yes, but as far as I remember, still, I've always spoken about the power of personal brand and authority in whatever format that comes out. So even though social media landscape may have changed, I don't want to be positioning myself as a social media person. Actually, the consistency is the core essence of the transformation that you create, not the tool that you're using. So, really understanding what is that transformation you're delivering at the core level, and then you can position yourself as the expert in that, as opposed to one modality or domain or tool that you might be using to achieve that outcome.
Yeah, I love that. And I think it does build on that likability factor, right? Like people like can know, like, and trust you. And then I think also as well, like, yeah, working on the transformations because people love the results and they want to know how it's going to change and transform their life. So I love that. And yeah, no, it's so true. Like your values and your core reasons and your why will always be fundamentally there. Those drivers will always be there. But yeah, while your business evolves, your core mission and why you want to show up in the world a certain way and why you want to make the impact that you want to make, those core belief systems will always be there. Those fundamental emotional drivers will always be there.
Yeah, 100%.
Love it. I love it. And I mean, obviously, Women Thrive, you've done such amazing work with that and such a beautiful community. And I loved watching everybody's presentations. And every week when I turn up to the meetings, I'm so inspired by all of the girls and just their passion and their love and their enthusiasm. And I just was blown away watching the talks. I watched so many. I stayed up as late as I could with some of them, but I binged them all over the weekend. It was amazing. And I guess when you look at these amazing diverse women, when they all come together, what do you think it is like the one standout thing? And I don't even know if you can define it as one thing, but it's like, What makes somebody an amazing speaker?
It's a really interesting question. It's so hard to just put one thing because I believe that as speakers, one, we have our own signature energy and style. And I always advocate that when you become a speaker, you want to use your speaking skills to empower or inspire others, that you really tap into your unique signature. I used to think that I'm quiet, my voice is relatively quiet. So I'm not one of those excited people with a big voice. But actually, the more I started to speak, especially to speak on Clubhouse quite a bit, people after my Clubhouse used to come to me and say, I really enjoy your energy. I really enjoy just listening to your voice. If I find it really soothing, I could listen to it for hours. And that's when I realized that, wow, actually, I have something unique and people come to me for it. So, as a speaker, I think establishing your unique angle, your
Mm.
unique message. And I always say that don't try to educate people when you're speaking, try to inspire them. And that requires you stepping into your story, your mission, your values, and really speaking from the heart. I love to speak from the heart. I never really rehearse what I'm going to speak because intrinsically I know my values, I know my why, and I know my area of expertise. But what will connect with the audience is how I make them feel. So the
Mm.
deeper that I am willing to go into my story, the deeper the relationship that you're going to build with your audience, as opposed to just hiding behind like can give you 10 steps to establishing your personal brand. I could give you all the information, but it doesn't mean you're going to go away and implement them all. But
Mm.
what is going to stay in your mind is my story, is my mission. Why do I care about the work that I do? That's what's going to really connect with you and stay with you.
Yeah, amazing. And I think it comes into as well, like really embodying your truth and being comfortable with your story as well. Because sometimes when people start sharing their story, they may have never spoken about these things to anybody before. So it cracks you open on a whole other level, like mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And then all of a sudden you're bearing your soul to people, right? It can be really scary.
Yeah, absolutely. It is scary. And I say to speakers that you have to have done your healing work because you can't really go on and bear it all unless you have dealt with those feelings and emotions that you have had to go through. So, a lot of times, because of our past trauma or difficult experiences, we may feel guilt, fear, shame, and feel really vulnerable having to speak about it, especially if you've never done that before. So it requires you to go through a level of healing in order to start speaking about it. And it is certainly a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. And the first time I had to speak about my vulnerable story, it was hard. And it becomes easier the more you practice it. But certainly that healing needs to happen before you begin to use your story to inspire others.
Absolutely. And then there's something so heartwarming and beautiful when you have shared your story and then people come up to you afterwards and they're like, oh, I really love what you said, or that same thing happened to me, or I felt like that, or I've never spoken about that to anybody else either. And then you just realize it's that massive ripple effect and that domino effect, right? And you just never know who you're going to be impacting from sharing your story and inspiring others to maybe take actions and to heal or to stand up and shine in their own truth as well.
Yeah, it's magical, honestly. He creates a safe space for all of us to realize that I'm not alone. I'm not going through this challenge all on my own. There are other people who are going through this. And you really open that gateway for these conversations to happen. And that's why I love about creating our events because it truly is a beautiful gateway to build authentic and deep relationships with the audience because you step into your power. And as a leader, I think we need to step into our unapologetic selves. And I'm actually in the process of writing a book called Unapologetic Speaker
Love it.
because I think you become unapologetic about who you are, about your story, because
Yeah.
you're not questioning yourself anymore. You here purely to be as a catalyst for change and catalyst of inspiration for other people. So you're using your story to transform other people's lives. You're no longer wondering, like, oh, will people care? Will people judge me? Will people see me a certain way? You have to become comfortable with your own story and your own mission.
I love that. And there is so much power in speaking and the transformations that it can have. Share with us a little bit about how speaking can help people to reach new audiences.
I believe that speaking is a really powerful tool because when you are speaking on other people's stages, at events, podcasts, you unlock a whole new audience. So exactly what we're doing here, I am now having the opportunity to reach your audience. And
Mm.
by doing so, by also sharing my knowledge, because every time I would speak, there's something new that comes out, right? In our conversation, it allows my audience to also understand various other things about me. So when I share this podcast episode with my audience, they'll get new information, new up to date transformation, or whatever it is that I'm working on, events in general. That was what has helped me to position myself as an expert, as an authority, and reach much, much wider audience. And I always say that when you do a really good job speaking on stages, your name will be mentioned in rooms where your foot have not stepped into.
Love that. Yes.
Right. So, because what happens is when you share your story and people really feel it, they will go on to tell other people. So, you may have not needed to be in a particular room, but people starting to talk about you. And it wouldn't happen otherwise unless you're actually starting to use your voice as a speaking tool to inspire others. And there's a quote that I created, a small signature quote, and it comes back to that healing aspect that we've just spoken about,
Yep.
because everybody has been through some tough times. You've all gone through different experiences. So the quote goes like this: let your wounds be your inspiration, your story, your motivation, and your voice, your secret weapon to inspire others. So it goes back to your wounds is there for the inspiration. Don't look at it as something shameful or regretful of what you've been through. And know that your story is there to motivate and inspire others. And your voice, I always say, because I've had my own challenges with my voice, and I can share a little bit more about that story. Your voice is your secret weapon to inspire others. It's a tool, so you got to use it.
Yes. I love that quote so much. I actually saw that in your presentation, in your talk, and I loved it. I loved the whole story around it. It was just beautiful. I was like, that is such a beautiful quote. It really resonated. It was amazing.
Thank you. It was like a divine download when I was reflecting back on my story. And I was like, if I could use one learning from my own story, and that was something so deep in one quote, what would it be? And that's the words that just divinely got downloaded to me because I've been through my own journey of struggling with my voice. I lost my voice in my mid-20s due to trauma. I faced depression. I was looking in a mirror and I couldn't recognize myself. Or who is this woman? Because I lost my identity. I lost sight of why am I here? Question my own value in this world. And it was really hard. And I didn't appreciate my voice because I couldn't use it. And when I discovered, when my mentor, Les Brown, asked me, why do you want to speak? All of this just came flashing back. It's like, why do I really? I never asked myself this question. Why do I want to speak? Why do I feel so passionate about it? And it dawned on me because I know what it's like to lose a voice, and I don't want another woman to not have a voice. And that's why I want to advocate with even just with this quote. Look, we all have wounds. Use that as inspiration, and your story should become not just your motivation, but somebody else's motivation to keep going. And
Yeah.
just use your voice because that is such a powerful tool, and I will never take it for granted because I know what it's like not to have it.
I love that. And I think that so many people can relate to that. Like, I have conversations with people and they're like, oh, I'd love to be a speaker, but I don't know how to do it. Or my story isn't worth listening, or no one would want to hear my story, or what I've been through is less than what that person's been through, or my struggles haven't been as big as theirs, or my struggles have been too much. Like, been through too much. I can't even share it. But I just feel like there's so much power in your story and what you have to share because your journey and your struggle is unique to you. It's your own fingerprint and your own soul's journey. But your experiences and struggles and triumphs truly can transform people because you never know, somebody could be listening who's also going through a hard time and they just pick up that one or two words that you say that's just that final straw. And they're like, oh my God, I can do this. I can make a change. Like, if this person has done it, I can also do it too. And the thing that I love the most about Women Thrive is that everyone's just like people, right? Everyone's like normal people that have gone through experiences in life. And it's so inspiring because when you look at these people that are speaking and they're such beautiful people, but it's like, well, they're just a normal person who've gone through life experiences. And if they've gone through it and they're doing it, I can do it too. It just makes it so accessible to so many people.
Yeah, because we all have struggles, and I think we all have this feeling, am I good enough? What I have to share, is it valid? Is it worthwhile? We compare ourselves so much, especially as women. And I always say to anyone who steps into any capacity in our domain and any person that I meet, I say, you're enough. You have something to bring to this earth. And I treat everyone as equals because you all have a story, and your story is going to connect with somebody who's meant for you. Your story is for someone. So don't underestimate and don't limit yourself by your own mind of what is possible for you, or should I be speaking? Is it worthwhile? It is. If you can transform one person's life, please speak, use your voice, share your story, impact others, and don't shy away from it, because you're doing someone absolute disservice by not stepping into your own light.
I love that. And I guess for people that are maybe listening to this and they're like, I could share my story. I want to be a speaker. What's like the number one advice? And again, I feel like it's hard to put it into like one advice thing, but it's like, where could you direct people to start if they're like, I've never spoken before, or maybe they've had a little bit of speaking experience and they want to up level a little bit? What sort of like guidance, I guess, can you give them to be able to up level and to maybe start their speaking journey as well?
Start before you're ready. There's no such thing like, oh, now I am like the most confident speaker. No, I wasn't. And honestly, I started with hosting other people. I always say this, I started by creating my own stage. I wasn't invited to events. I wasn't interviewed on podcasts. I wasn't being put on the big stages when I first started. Nobody even knew I was a speaker because I wasn't. So you don't become a speaker overnight. Start by hitting that social media live. Start by recording. Start a podcast. Start workshops. Start interviewing other people in whatever way. And the more you speak, the more you're going to refine your message. And over time, like I just had a speaking engagement a few weeks ago to 130 people live audience. I was the opening speaker. I didn't know I was the opening speaker. I did not have my full talk prepared. And yet I did not have any bit of fear stepping on that stage. I was excited. And the reason why I was excited, because I'm excited about my mission. I'm excited about impacting other people. I've changed my mindset from thinking, what will people think when I get up on stage, to how can I impact my audience? Who needs to hear this message? How can I be most of service? And before I interview people on, let's say, podcasts or social media live, especially when people feel a little bit afraid, I say to them, let's take a moment to really envision the person you're here to support and think about them. What is it that they need? Where is it that they are at the moment? What struggles are they having right now? And let's remind ourselves that we're here to make an impact. It's not about us, it's about the people we're here to support. And when you change that mindset, you stop thinking about yourself, because we're constantly thinking, how are people going to look at me? How are they going to judge me? Get out your mind. It's not about that. People are not sitting there judging you. Actually, they want to be inspired, they want to be impacted, and they want to learn something. So
Yeah.
step into that role. And again, as you build more of your thought leadership and your personal brand and your message, you become so clear about who you are, why you are here, that speaking about it becomes a second nature. You don't question it anymore. You just step into it.
I love that. And I think when you take yourself out of the equation and you step into making your why bigger than you and the impact that you're making, I just feel like you can never fail. Like you can never walk away from a situation and go, oh, I did such a bad job, because you're in service all the time. You're showing up in service to other people all the time.
Like I say this a lot, like your why matters. And if your why matters enough to you, no matter what life throws at you, look, I've been broke, I was struggling, I didn't succeed at everything. There was so many hurdles I've had to overcome. Yet I am 100% committed to what I'm doing. And I will never give up on it because it's part of me, it's part of my mission, part of my legacy. It defines me. Like it's not just a work. For me, it's not just work. For me, it's my life's mission. So I can't give up because I would be giving up on myself. I would be giving up on the people I'm here to serve. Don't ever give up on that and get so rooted in your purpose that actually no matter what life throws at you, because people life will throw some curveballs at you and you're going to be pushed to the edge of nearly giving up. But
Yeah.
if this really matters to you and people know why this matters to you and why you care, they will follow you no matter what. And they will be willing to work with you because they understand what your purpose is.
Yeah, that's so powerful. I love that. So for people that might be listening and they're like, yes, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to go down the speaker route and this is the person that I want to work with. How can people, I guess, learn from you? Because you do have so much knowledge and skills to be able to share with people. If people are like, I want to be a speaker just like you, how can they step into that?
Oh, I love more than anything, I love people stepping into their speaking potential, really, and becoming so unapologetic about their voice and their story. I have a number of things that I do. One is speaking at the Women Thrive Summit. So if you are an established speaker, you can head over to womenthrivesummit.com and find out how you can become a speaker on our platform. So that's more for established speakers. But if you're just starting out and this has inspired you, we do have Speakers Academy. So I'm just about to open the doors to a 6 months program to support speakers in building their skills and practicing their skills and really refining their message so they can create more impact in the world.
I love that. That's amazing. And you do have such a beautiful community with Women Thrive. And I know you've also got the inner circle as well.
Yeah, the Inner Circle is more of a mastermind program for women who want to build their thought leadership. I love, again, seeing women stepping into their thought leadership. So this is more a strategic mastermind where I coach, and we also do peer-to-peer support in this program where you can start working on your thought leadership, your personal brand, your business strategies, your launch strategies, how to position yourself as the authority, how to find more speaking engagements. So again, it's a little bit more advanced for people who are already in the business and wanting to have that guidance and support to grow their business and their thought leadership.
Amazing. Well, we're going to drop the links to find all of the amazing work that you do and you offer in the chat description so people can find you. And I just cannot rave enough about Women Thrive and the community and just the beautiful network of people that are in there. So I highly, highly recommend to check out your community, check out Women Thrive, sign up to the summit next year. It's going to be even more amazing. I can't wait. And I always love to ask people, what's 3 tips or strategies that you can give people to help them elevate, transform, make change easy, and to live their best life?
Woo, we could be here for another podcast episode, Marissa. Be authentic. Honestly, you are the best version of yourself and you are the best person to represent you. There could be nobody else to do that. And I say you are your best PR expert, no matter what PR agency you may hire or who may be doing your social media or doing anything for you. You are your own advocate. So get really clear about your message, your mission, and become comfortable with being your own thought leader because you will never go wrong by being able to represent yourself fully and advocate for yourself. and be unapologetic. Empowerment, I'm so passionate about women empowerment, and I want women to become unapologetic and use their voice for the greater good.
Yes, I love that. So true and so powerful. Well, it's been absolutely amazing having you tonight. Thank you so much for your time. And yeah, we'll link so people can find you. And I can't wait to see the amazing lineup for the speakers next year at the summit.
Thanks, Marissa. This has been such a joy and privilege to be on your platform and support your audience as well. And I look forward to continuing this beautiful journey with you. You're amazing.
Thank you. Thanks so much for being here, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. So head on over and give a like to show your love, and follow the channel to stay up to date with all of the new episodes as soon as they become available. Thank you.